Hi guys. So I'm back. Just like I promised yesterday, I am always very happy when I can keep a promise. Anyway, and so we are going to get straight back into the Septimont story in Wuthering Waves that we started just yesterday. And yeah, so we were catching up on the mystery that the events are taking place at two different time spaces, if I can say it like that. So a bunch of events have already happened, and well, we are stuck in some sort of timescape. I will call it that for a lack of a better term. Oh, that was a little bit confusing, but it's okay. So we got to meet with Lupa, also with Augusta, and and yeah, which was fun. But now I'm just like keeping all my resources to pull for these two. Oh yeah, I will be skipping the she-wolf. Anyway, my account is ready. Let's get straight into it. I don't know why it does that, but like very often when I log in, the game just doesn't want to acknowledge my controller. Does that make sense? See, like it's on, but doesn't show up there. Weird. Ah, finally. I have to insist. Okay. Flames of Hearts. Go to... What? Okay, so you... Yeah, no. Go to the arena and meet up with Lupa. Let's go. Oh shit, no! Okay.
You've come, warrior.
Of course I have. That thing is so scary. I don't trust it one bit.
The mighty guardian, Arudicus Arsenosa, is not the kind of echo too warm to crowds. The lioness favors the strong, the unyielding, and the battle-hardened. Only those she deems worthy will find her arms welcoming. But she is still an echo and can't talk.
Kinda strange for an echo to be able to do that. But I guess this is what Raguna is. She's got plump cheeks. Oh shit. What's going on here?
What is it? Did you feel something just now?
I only heard strange sounds. Tell me, what direction did the lioness just look toward?
The Veil of Glory. It's where all heroes, blessed by the glory forged in iron and fire, find their rest. But on the long path of hunting, many died with their bodies missing. Only their weapons returned. Arsenosa's frequency is woven from the cries of souls in battle. The battered weapons still carry the will of their former masters, whispering the deeds left undone. To touch such weapons is a rite of great importance for those who claim glory in the great Aegon and receive the lioness's blessing. Hearing the voices of our ancestors by Arsenosa's side is a great source of strength for Septimontians.
Before meeting Buling, when I touched the echo in that village, I felt a layered, indistinct frequency. was like what Abby described on our journey to Septimont, but the source eluded me at the time. But now, I found it. The source of that power lies in the Veil of Glory. The closer the lioness gets to it, the clearer it becomes.
She waits for us there. Shall we go together? I'm not sure if Septimontian rituals will interest you, but you might uncover something useful, no? Perfect. Let's head out.
What's going on? Is she fusing with her other version?
Nothing. Just...
Or remembering?
Just a dizzy spell. Overexcitement after the win. Or something. Anyway, it's no matter. Let's continue. These days
Oh shit.
have been a feast of victories. Becoming champion, the glory, all thanks to you.
I get confused so much because I play so many different games at the same time, so I'm always pressing the wrong stuff when I'm just trying to do basic things like printing. And I'm always trying to jump in games that do not allow jump. I'm glad that this one does though. Wait, how do I pressed Y instead of A. Oh, she does have quite any fur. Okay. Sorry for the Gunnar pause.
Strange. Why are so many appearing all at once? Lackluster. Together we howl. Here, with me. Is that all? I'll end you! I thought tacit discords didn't usually appear around the border mountains.
These tacit discords didn't gather from the surroundings. It's more like they spawned from thin air.
They spawn to it.
Look, it's just ahead.
It looks
Veil
nice
of
here.
Glory, where heroes are laid to rest.
It's very Viking of them. It's pretty strange. It feels like they've mixed several influences. So obviously some ancient Greek, Roman inspiration, and with a hint of Nordic traditions. I guess it makes it a little bit different from other gacha games in that aspect, because I don't think that any Hoyo game has like any sort of Nordic Slavic influence. Could be wrong though. Maybe in High Third.
You are from my homeland.
Oh crap.
That girl just now, that was Mia. The closer to the Veil of Glory, the more the normal world and the anomaly overlap. Whatever lies ahead must be the key to all of this. I need to rethink everything. Septimont, Lupa, Cardathia, Mia, the Lioness of Glory. All of it. Cardathia arrived in Septimont alone, not waiting for me or attempting contact. Something must have happened to prevent her. If something cut her off, aside from the Fraxidus, it could have only been the Threnodian, which should be dead. But Septimont holds no faith in the Sentinel, and the Threnodian was never able to establish influence here. Maybe it's not that simple. The Threnodian controls the mind of its followers through their faith. Mia is a Ragunasi, and likely a follower of the Order of the Deep. If the Veil of Glory is an important rite for champions, perhaps Mia went there. And it was there she vanished. Her hysterics, hallucinations, and loss of control in the arena were signs of the Threnodian's corruption. Frolova once said, "The closer one stands to the protagonist, the greater their influence over the tale." In this great Aegon, Lupa is the protagonist. Years ago, it was Mia. Now I'm seeing Mia's image flicker in and out throughout this journey. If the Mia I see is under the Threnodian's control, does that mean securing the protagonist role is key to its plan? When I first met Lupa, I sensed what felt like Cardathia's frequency on her. Later, I also felt the Threnodian's presence. Did they cross paths? If Cardathia is part of this story, the likelihood is high. Could Lupa have forgotten? Did they meet without realizing it? Or is she lying and already under the Threnodian's influence? Was Frolova telling the truth by saying Lupa would bring forth the Dark Tide? Or is she just another one of its victims?
Hey! Is something wrong? Is there something you need? Or something you want to say?
That's not an easy choice, but I guess I will speak my mind because I don't know what she actually knows. And I think that we are on a good trail. What happened was probably that the Threnodian was able to attack through Mia because she's the only one there who had faith in the Sentinel. Without faith, they couldn't have influenced anyone there. Which is something we kind of already knew, but like now at least it makes sense. Alright, so I told her what happened and what goes on in my mind.
I'm sorry. I don't recall crossing paths with Cardathia, but you could be right. I may have and just forgotten about it.
But how often do you forget things?
These past days, there have been moments when I feel lost, forgetting what I was doing a heartbeat ago. I don't know if it's the Threnodian's work, but if something is wrong and it's trying to twist my mind, you'd make the right call, wouldn't you, my fellow warrior? You'd protect my honor and my dignity.
Sure thing. No need to ask.
Than that, Lupa. I've heard the Septimont saying, "All for glory, fear no death." But sometimes, living takes more courage than dying.
Hi there, Shab. How are you?
Well then, that'll do just fine. I trust you, warrior. Just as you trust me.
It doesn't matter if the story's end is already written or yet to unfold. I'll trust my own judgment to guide it where it must go.
I'm good. Finally catching up on WuWa's story. And also eating at the same time. This is why my mouth keeps moving. So yeah, I'm going to be playing that for now and then switching to Clair Obscure Expedition 33 this afternoon. Because I feel like I'm inching closer to the end and I want to be able to wrap it up. Even if it's a good game and I don't want to rush it. Oh shit.
I hear cowering prey. I smell fear. Is that all?
Don't be cocky now.
Glory is upon us!
Do you also play WuWa or like Gathering Wise? Oh, not at all.
Those blades, spears, and halberd embedded in the stone. They're the weapons of the fallen heroes. We have a tradition in Septimont. Touch them and listen to the whispers of those who once wielded them.
This is so Viking coded. Stretching out your hands, your fingertips brush against the rusted steel. A quiet, sorrowful voice hums from the halberd. No one knew why she sought the battlefield, only to escape another. She shed her gold, tore away her... Wait, I had to stop the autoplay. She shed her gold, tore away the honor binding her, and turned her back on the proud house that shackled her, rejecting the eyes that followed her. Yeah, I understand, Shop. Like, that was pretty much the situation I was in. I don't usually play WuWa a lot because everything revolves around Rover, and sometimes I don't really like it. It feels like a dating sim. But I feel like they made some progress here in that story arc. I always go back to that game anyway because I like the combat system. I think it's fun. This silence, it is my victory, she laughed, charging into the dark tide. Stretching out your hand, your fingertips brush against the rusted steel. A deep, solemn voice hums from the spear's shaft. Through endless battles and the surging dark tide, kin and warmth were lost, and all softness and love faded away. All that remained in his eyes was the sight of white flowers blooming across barren fields. How fragile, how beautiful. He sighed as his skull was crushed under the tacit discord's weight. Ooh, that's violent and gruesome. Definitely not for kids. Ah, yeah. Well, you know what? Technically, it was the same for me. I think I haven't touched the game after getting Zani and Phoebe, because there was some sort of weird rerun banner at the same time, I think. And since Zani needs Phoebe to be optimal, I pulled her, and that was like the luckiest pulls I've ever done. I had her like very quickly, and I don't think I spent any money on them, which is wild. Got your luck exhausted. Who did this blade belong to?
This is Hercules' sword. You remember the waters of the upper city, right? You were looking for Cartathea. Hercules was the one that the statue was based on. Ages ago, the dark tide bore down on Reganese, and Septimont didn't escape. Hercules was the son of the Ephor back then, and he led our warriors to face the Tacit Discords. He died in that cursed tide, his strength worn down to nothing. His sword was corrupted, but his followers still risked their lives to bring it back. In this land, intense emotions easily blend with other forces. The Lioness of Glory was born from the fiery passions of heroes, so she holds sway over their weapons. Back then, this sword was growing more sinister due to the corruption.
I do not trust that thing.
But all these years later, it has become a memento of a hero.
Is she going to grab it? Kinda rude.
I feel something strong and pulsing in the direction the blade is pointing. It's coming from underground. Is it inside the mountain itself? The frequency. It's the Sentinel Imperator. Just like Raguna, Septimont has its own Genesis Nexus. That's why it seeks. Power. Needs home.
Okay, that was creepy. I don't want to fight these things though, they're adorable.
More Tacit Discords, just like last time.
For a split second, the world shifted. Just like it did when I saw Mia. Every time there's an overlap like this, the tidal blade appears as well as Tacit Discords.
Let's start! The fight is on! All or nothing with me! Glory is upon us!
She is fun to play, but she's still going to be a skip.
Tidal blight. It's an outgrowth of the dark tide itself. Why is it suddenly appearing like this?
We'll clear it out first, then check if that sword is the source.
Gather 3 recollections of heroes to charge the hero's legacy armor. When the armor is charged, aim at the mechanism and press the highlighted button. Put don the hero's legacy armor and access. Hopefully. Yep. I had to read because last time I skipped the explanation of something and then I just kept repeating and doing something that was absolutely not useful. And gacha luck can be so tough. So hard on our wallets. Okay. Come on, I'm definitely doing what I'm supposed to do. Oh shit. Okay, thank you for hanging out, Shub. Rest well and I'll see you later. Bye.
What's that sound? Come, we should check it out. WuWa? This doesn't feel like the first time I've been here. Let's go.
I wonder what the connection between her and Mia is, though. I wonder if she only watched her, like, previous combats to train. Or if there's something deeper.
There's no mistaking it now. It's Imperator's frequency.
I'm gonna play. Oh shit. Ah!
Thou carry the scent of Cardathea.
Oh boy.
You've stolen the Sentinel's access too. Lupa's role in this story is it yours?
Ooh.
Is that Contender Mia?
It's the Threnodian.
Yeah.
Lupa, this is something only you can do.
Tell me what I need to do.
Read the script. Adapt as required. I believe in you, warrior.
Man, this is so cool. Having an MC who knows when to take the back seat.
Strength is the deepest fear of Septimontians. Pride hides the terror within. We fear no death, yet tremble before shame and failure. Did Domina Julia deceive me for this? I never got the chance to ask. The dark tide consumed all. Death took her, as it will take me.
Today as yesterday, we weave time beneath the tide. Swim, swim, wretched yet lovely fish. Dream deeply in my fiction, on the stage of a repeating tale, waiting for the day thou shalt consume the world.
That's Christopher.
O righteous one, I shall depart without a word. The golden city in my childhood legend is swallowed by the abhorrent tide. I whisper to my fleeting companion. Pages will scatter, the quill will form. This play
shall be torn from its author's hands. A wrong note in the shifting score.
That's a bit what we're trying to do with J.K. Rowling.
Golden star full of mercy. Pray tell me, as past and present intertwine, what fate have you chosen?
Hesitate not, warrior. You are the protagonist I have chosen. Only you can shatter the script and jump to the next page. Right. For the nobility you seek. For it all.
A dream? No. It couldn't. It's no dream. I'm not alone. The warrior put the hope of change in my hands. This feels good. Not standing there alone on the champion's stage. The warrior hasn't learned this yet, but I now remember traveling with Cartathea. I can't be in the real world. This is a Sonoro created by the Fraxidus. It's a realm of stories. The story of the Great Aegon lasts only 3 days. Before Cartathea came here, I had wandered this same bloody story more times than I can count. The dark tide consumes Septimont, and that monstrous, half-human, half-sea creature grows ever larger. Is this the Fraxidus' plan? To feed it with Septimont's ruins? A script. Yes, this Sonoro is like a book of plays. Each world in the Sonoro is a story that keeps repeating, like sheets of paper, all overlapping with one another. New pages keep appearing, layering over the old, and the changes in one story bleed through to the next. After Cartathea's actions, Septimont, once destroyed by the dark tide, has begun to return to normal in the story where the warrior arrived. Cartathea saved me, changed my fate, and led me to the warrior, who stopped the Threnodian in the last story. So in this time, I haven't lost my memory. The warrior had delivered a powerful blow against the monster, and the energy supply from the central hub has been cut off. But that's not even its full form. I once searched for its true form with Cartathea. I remember now. What we seek lies in the lower city's waters. I won't let your trust be misplaced.
Okay. Don't disappoint me, girl. She's the hero now.
The district of Septimont, submerged beneath the waters due to the dark tide. The dark tide looms over Septimont like a stubborn storm cloud. Is the warrior? No. No time to worry. I have to find the cause of all this, and quickly.
I need you to go lower. I'm terrible with this. It's kind of like it's fun, but also not that easy to navigate. I'm so bad at this. No! She's going to survive? Okay. Can she, like, die? No. That would be fun. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if at some point you have the ability to decrease the amount of water.
In a past story, I came here with Cartothea.
Okay, straight to the building we just saw, please.
Look at you. You can't go on much longer. I feared as much. Then this is where we stop. Strange. I remember everything about Septimont, but I can't remember. I can't even remember my name.
You didn't forget. Someone stole your role in the story. Even your name on the placards in the arena would be unreadable. Your existence has been erased. Only by unmaking this story can it be reclaimed.
Too bad I won't last long enough to see that happen. I'm sorry, Cartothea. You saved me, but I can't help you in return.
When I was a child, long ago, I heard tales of Septimont. A city full of passion and life. People there drank deeply, laughed loudly, appreciated sculpture, and lived for the hunt. Men and women feared nothing. They burned like fire, giving all their light and heat before fading. But when I arrived in Septimont, it had already been undone by dark hands. With the dark tide sweeping the streets, the city was nothing but an empty shell.
That's right. My city is beautiful. When the autumn wind blew through the golden flags and wind chimes, time seemed to slow.
The Leviathan. I will not give it the chance to make the people of Rinasita weep and bleed. I will drag whoever orchestrated this tragedy out of the shadows.
Septimont, can I leave it to you?
No. You said it yourself. This is your city. Some things only you can do. The monster leaving its trace in the dark tide. I can feel it. Its frequency is similar to my own. The Threnodian created me to be a resonator for its power. But I wasn't the only one. Many vessels before me failed.
That's what she is.
There is still much I don't know. I'll keep searching. But no matter what, you have a certain specialness.
Oh,
Once I sought to end it all. Someone stopped me. Even a life mocked by fate can break its curse. Whatever you seek to do, whether you're weak or strong, you must strive for it. I returned to the world thanks to a certain person's help. I believe she will come here and reshape this twisted story.
Oh, must be quite the person, eh? I wish I could meet her and see how she does it.
oh, she's heartbreaking. Where are you going?
Then you will see for yourself. Victory isn't won in an instant. It takes patience and perseverance. What we can't do now, someone will carry forward later. If you want to save your city, then hold on. No matter the pain, no matter the doubts, you must keep going. Just like how you wandered Septimont before I came. Broken, yet determined to leave, to find help for the city. Jump to a new story, and bring my message to that person.
All right, Garcia. I'll try my best. First, tell me, what is that person's name?
Oh, she didn't hear it. Or did she?
I'm close to that abnormal frequency. You're in the submerged aqueducts.
Okay, so what happened? Your tears look like jelly bean.
The submerged aqueducts. I remember reading about them in the Silver Records. There used to be an underground waterway leading to the plains. But now, with the old district completely flooded, we can only access it if we drain the water first. After my role was erased, Cartathea must have found the half-human, half-sea creature, and the Fraxidus. Like the warrior, she chose to remain on the closing of that page, to give new stories a fighting chance. only regained my name after I met the warrior. During our journey, the overlapping worlds the warriors saw were the monsters doing. It tried to use Mia to steal my role again, to corrupt Septimont once more. Only I can erase it from this story. Only I can prove that I'm real and it is fake. What happened to the Mia who vanished in the Veil of Glory decades ago? After everything you went through, what did the city of Septimont mean to you? I remember the entrance to the underground waterway is in the old district's bell tower. Of course. The upkeep of these waters always falls under the Silver's jurisdiction. Maybe I can awaken the sleeping giant of glory. In Septimontian tradition, when it bears its blade and watches over the warriors leaving for the hunt, all gates and passages open. Many of the old routes are blocked, but I can try draining the water through the remaining ones. It's worth a try.
Okay, so how do we access it? New scenes. Read all of it? Althea had roamed the desolate city with the gladiator girl for days before she was erased. She had caught a fleeting glimpse of the massive fish silhouette and saved the nameless one from the dark tide. Althea was certain this place was not part of the real world, but the widespread destruction stalled her search for answers. The gladiator girl had forgotten who she was, but her survival alone marked her as extraordinary. Althea hoped this very uniqueness might serve as a beacon to carry their story forward. Althea could only keep searching. She had to find the monstrous half-human, half-sea creature, Thenodian's abomination, his very sister. Althea chases the enemy from the incubator through the dark tide-ravaged streets of Septimont until she vanishes from sight. The fallen guardian of Septimont looms ahead, halberd raised in a battle cry. Althea draws her sword just as she did countless times in the inverted tower facing the dark tide's creatures. She defeats the Lioness of Glory, but after dealing with the dark tide before her, she feels a cold gaze from behind. Althea turns to see the gladiator girl, face marred by tallow blight, her eyes hollow and empty. She stares, unblinking, like a ghost. You fight a battle unseen. The Colosseum, once full of glory, is swallowed by darkness. Monsters swarm from curtains of black mist as you cut them down, 1 against 100. At the final blow, the world abruptly returns to its former state, the crowd oblivious to what just occurred. You recall 3 blades falling from the sky, each radiating with Althea's frequency. Though you had not seen her, it felt as though you were fighting side by side. Where is she? When Lupus' form was overtaken by the girl resonating with the Thenodian, all your suspicions align. The Thenodian had set its gaze on Septimont's central hub, the vessel for Imperator's lingering power. Only you, with your unique permissions, sever the hub's connections and thwart the Thenodian's plan. You make your choice in the flash of a heartbeat. You refuse to end the story by becoming the protagonist and murdering Lupa, as Prolova suggested. Instead, you place your trust in your fellow warrior and stay behind, trapping the Thenodian's essence within the hub. In the next story, the lone wolf throughout this journey will repay this trust. Okay, so that makes everything more clear. Lupa's eyes flutter open, her breath coming in ragged gasps. The sudden explosion of memories in her mind nearly make her. Otythia, her brief companion, her fellow title winner Aria, the chaotic shift in the central hub, and the countless cycles before where Septimont was swallowed by the dark tide. The sky above remained as clear as ever, and everything that had just felt like a nightmare. Lupa opens her hand, the medal she and the warrior had earned together resting in her palm, damp with sweat. She takes a deep breath, then another, before closing her fingers around it. The sharp edge digs into her skin, and the pain pulls her back to reality. It urges her to push forward. This is what we're about to do, push forward. The story was drawing to its close. Otythia could feel the world around her shifting. Buildings, statues, and even the land itself were cracking like damp paper. But it no longer mattered. Wait. Damp paper doesn't crack. But anyway. But it no longer mattered. She had uncovered the clue that pointed to the one responsible and was heading toward the playwright. With more fractious members lurking here, she was prepared for the coming battle. As for the rest, Otythia had no doubt that Aria would handle it. She was her sword, and she believed in her completely.
Covered in tidal blight.
May applause greet you, Lupa from House Silva. She's not really from House Silva anymore, is she? I keep sneezing. Okay, this is kind of cool.
To get it to lift its sword and open the gates, I need to clear the arms too.
Detecting unidentified tacit Discord signatures within the city, immediate extermination is required. Yeah. Don't worry, we got this.
Into the spotlight! Face me, coward!
A plus greet you. Please keep on fighting. Okay, sure. All right. Let's go forth. Shit. Was it supposed to do that, or did I mess up?
Need to check for more patrol units nearby.
Looks like. Okay. Detected. Current location outside platform range. High risk of tacit disco threat. Maintain vigilance at all times. Where is it going? Ooh! That thing just jumped out of the water? System reboot required. I didn't even see what that was.
I hear cowering prey.
What is that?
Caught you now.
Ah.
With me to victory. With me.
my setup is a bit messy, so I don't always see when I have enough points for the ultimate. Oh shit, I killed it. Okay. Happy hunting. May you be showered with victory. Okay. Do I need to do that again, or are we clear? I think we're clear. I knew we would like end up doing that at some point.
Time to head to the bell tower. That monster is hiding in the depths of the aqueducts.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. Need to do something real quick. Hi, Arison. I think the stream is going well. I just took a small break. Had something to do. How are you? Just trying to get things done with the she-wolf of Septimont Street. I like switching around. I just went back to WuWa because I was super late on the story and I was a bit curious. But yeah, I think from now on what I try to do is play gacha games in the morning and then RPGs in the afternoon. So this afternoon, starting from 2 p.m, I will be playing Clair Obscure Expedition 33. What kind of games do you like to watch?
Just this gate standing between me and the heart of the aqueducts. It won't open. I'll have to find another route.
What does she mean? We haven't even tried.
Huh? The copper mirror is calling. The warrior used it to see the past. I wonder if there's anything of that here.
Oh yeah, I'm way too skittish for horror games. I would be scared all the time. Get panic attacks and
I've already pulled that body from the sea.
Excellent, Domina Julia. Keeping one's word is the foundation of any solid partnership.
I think a forever game for me would be Final Fantasy XIV. I have never played it on stream yet, but it's in my plans. What about yours? Is it like Silent Hill?
I know. Septimont's current effort doesn't quite heed the Senate's wishes, but we'll see to that. A cup of poisoned wine, a passing fly, a dagger. Fate strikes where least expected. With someone as clever and calculated as you at the helm, the House of Silver need not fear for its survival.
I do not work with you for our sake. I do this for Septimont. Some of us have forgotten the terror of life adrift at sea. To survive the tide, one must make the right choices. We'll speak of other matters later. But tell me, why would you want a dead woman who fell into the sea?
Dead woman? Ah, you mean Mia?
No, I started streaming like, sorry, less than 2 months ago. And not been around that.
Indeed.
What about you? Do you stream sometimes?
The unit I spoke of. The one we intend to build deep within these underground aqueducts. Alive or dead, her body holds the information we need. The Fraxidus's experiments here will continue for some time. In the meantime, covering up this little laboratory's existence will require your assistance, madam.
The heart? That weakling's resonance abilities were meager at best. Her performance in the arena was nothing special. If it weren't for those incompetent fools in the Senate, using her as a puppet to shift the attention and anger of the masses, she wouldn't even have made it to the finals.
Do not be upset, my dear Domina. You're absolutely right. The girl is so feeble she can't resist her creator's will in the slightest. Winning the Grand Aegon was precisely what brought the shadow of death upon her. Luck and misfortune, nobility and lowliness, weakness and strength. A person's nature is like two sides of a coin. And I've always found beauty in inevitable tragedies.
I like playing, like, reading novels mostly. What about you?
So Mia has been dead all this time. She didn't leave Septimont when she vanished. The sea took her. I hear cowering.
Face me, coward! With me! The fight is on! Time to fight! Together we howl!
Yeah, I like to draw too, actually. I drew my first model, but then I gave up on the rigging. That was too complicated.
With me! Into the spotlight! Let's start! Triumph at the spear tip!
It's more of a hobby, really. Like, what about you? Do you do commissions for VTubers?
I'll end you! Glory with me to victory! Break darkness! That's some attack. Together we howl! With me!
Oh shit.
All or nothing! The fight is on!
I see. How long have you been doing this?
This place has the Fraxidus written all over it. Without the Silvers keeping the place hidden, they wouldn't have dared. The irony. A Septimontian aiding the enemy to build their den in the heart of our city.
Vinegar.
Even the impregnable Griffon's fortress crumbles from within.
I trust you've seen the experimental unit in the aqueducts. Well, what do you think?
If not for the sword embedded in her chest, I could mistake the corpse for being alive.
Indeed. Decades have passed, yet Mia remains as she was when first pulled from the sea. Her data has been invaluable. As the Threnodian's failed resonator, this specimen is, in its own way, remarkable. You know, it wasn't so long ago that the rover intervened and Cartathea broke free from that tower. I discovered that a small piece of the Threnodian's essence within Mia was reawakened with the tower's resurgence into our world.
Sounds as though you found new inspiration.
Yes.
Oh yeah, 6 years is a
What will host the
pretty
great
long
goal
time.
soon? I've come up with a rather intriguing idea. Before her death, Mia also attended the tournament. I'll use that as the fictitious anchor to craft a play to rewrite reality itself.
Wait, I just keep pressing on the wrong stuff in my computer model. Yeah, you can definitely send me your stuff on Twitter. Like, all my accounts are linked, so don't worry about that. I'll have a look when I'm done with my streams for the day, and I'll message you back, don't worry. Oh no, that's not what I was trying to. Ah, there we go, back to normal.
I've already discussed terms with it and reached a modest agreement.
You spoke with the Threnodian. Has Leviathan already awakened?
Only a fragment of it remains. A weakened, cunning shard, desperate to grow stronger.
No, I don't use
I'll
Discord.
fashion a story for this sea creature, enabling it to fulfill what it once sought, to have the dark tides swallow Septimont whole. The Threnodian once sought to use Mia to find Septimont's central hub in order to corrupt the beacon system. Even if met with failure, it would control the champion's mind to infiltrate the city's upper echelons. Oh well, it all failed in the end. In the face of her futility to resist corruption, that girl chose death. She drove a sword into her heart and leapt into the sea before choking on her own blood. Fascinating, isn't it? Faced with the same predicament, strength and weakness still make a difference.
Yeah, sure. Send me your Twitter and then I'll reply back. So I will have a look. Usually I would draw my own stuff myself since I can, like no problem, but I always like to see what other people. So I don't mind, don't worry.
The Blessed Maiden single-handedly thwarted the Threnodians' designs in Raguna, but this poor soul had no choice but to take her own life. A death so theatrical, so saturated with sorrow. How poetic. How beautifully tragic.
I don't care for your taste, Christophora.
Thank you for the follow, Harrison. Promise I will go and message you on Twitter when I'm done with my streams for the day. Thank you again.
I'm merely curious. What ending have you penned for Septimont this time?
Oh, such an impatient reader, Frolova. This play is nothing more than an amplifier, designed to nurture the Threnodians' lingering power. Once it grows large enough, I'll overlay the Sonoro onto reality. All that's needed is for Domina Julia to select the right champion. Swapping out the protagonist is hardly a challenge. Once the sea creature grows within the cradle I forged from the dark tide, the hymn of journeying paradise will spread from Septimont across Renacita. Really, compared to those Septimontians who've long forgotten Mia, the story I've written for her is far more thrilling. Don't you agree?
And what if it fails?
Then so be it. You know, Frolova, stories are but mankind's attempt to imagine and rehearse fate. If this play proves Rover worthy of becoming the protagonist of my story, if they pass their trial by fire, then isn't that a victory as well?
He's a bit of a psychopath, this dude.
Disgusting. To treat Septimont like a plaything. Unforgivable. What is so poetic or romantic about a story where someone is driven to death?
This experimental unit is only a prototype. The true finished product must lie deeper within the pathway. Like the other sites, most tracks have been scrubbed clean. All you can do now is speculate on the Fractidus's goal, to measure the frequency data of a material contained within the device. It seems they were investigating a particular property of the material. Oh, now that looks better. I don't really like it when her tail looks brown. I feel like it doesn't really match her. Like it looks dull in comparison.
I hear cowering. I'll end you! Triumph at the spear tip! Break darkness! Let's start! Into the spotlight! Face me, coward! Yeah. With me! The fight is on! Flee, filth! Time to fight!
Oh shit.
Now's the second half.
See that one? Oh wow.
Caught you now. With me to victory!
Hope she can heal. Otherwise, I'm so screwed. So it's the same thing as before on the outside. Yo. Yeah, no. I had to try. Poor girl.
Still lingering, Mia. A fading reverberation that should have dissolved in the deep long ago.
Where are you going?
To claim the title. Was that not your unfulfilled wish?
That was never mine. The arena. I don't need this victory.
But I do. Without a champion and the lion beast, I cannot touch the central hub left by Imperator. You, Cartithia, both my daughters, my very creations. Why this fruitless resistance? Has Septimont ever granted you kindness?
I mean, I guess they did.
They neither love you nor need you. Long have you been forgotten.
That's the inner voice of depression.
We were raised by them. You will never understand.
Proud in battle, and yet yearning for strength. I know the heart of the Septimontians far better than you. Mia, you are simply too afraid to face their true nature. You choose to deceive yourself. You cannot admit that they used you and then cast you aside. You cannot accept that from the start you were insignificant.
No. If I burn them, my flowers.
Oh shit. And
Hush, it matters not. Your thoughts are of little consequence.
can't wait for that thing to die, honestly. Breaking my girl's heart. Justice for Mia. Alright, let's get on with it. Where is it? Mia crouches in a quiet alley, trembling as panic surges through her. She had won the semi-final, yet the voices in her head never ceased. Struggling to hold herself together, she had fled the arena. A light touch on her arm makes her look up. A small Septimontian stands, holding out a bouquet. Face flushed, the child stammers, "You fought well," before running off. The blood-leaf viburnum is dotted with broken dewdrops. Mia clutches the bouquet, cold and damp, as a trickle of moisture slides down her cheeks. Oh. Story.
Viburnum.
Anything to see from?
Viburnum of Septimont. Oh,
It's not.
I understand. It's a flower often given to gladiators. A symbol of victory.
There are no chests to pick around here. I mean, I guess the focus is the story, so it's not a problem. Wait, what is that?
I've always carried this shame. Shame for something I didn't choose. Shame for something that's just there. Sometimes it turns into doubt. I try to live free, and I do most days, but still, I see it. I see the pain in their faces. In the ones who fall behind, the ones who leave the field beaten, the ones who pin all their hopes on me. I've always wondered if I didn't have this gift, could I have reached this point with clean hands? Should I have judged those who trampled the rules to survive? Or was I blind to my own arrogance?
I think she was, to some extent.
Now, I don't think like that anymore.
Good.
The warrior is stronger than me, no doubt, but she treats everyone the same. She didn't choose to stand alone. Instead, she chose to trust me. Cartothea spent years trapped by the weight of everyone's expectations. Never stepped foot in Septimont before, but still sailed across the seas to be here. And Mia, her resonance ability might be weak, but she never ran from a fight. She fought till her last breath. A heart isn't shaped by what it's born with or what it's been given. I've underestimated others, and I've underestimated myself too. But you, the arrogance, thinking you understand the darkness in people's hearts, but you don't have a single drop of life in you! Beautiful as ever. The Griffon's fortress. My city, Septimont. Built by the hands of the people, not the Sentinel and not the Threnodian. Where there's light, there's always shadow. The people need light. They'll chase it no matter what. And they'll learn to live with the shadow. Mia, Cartothea, they were born and raised on these islands. They are daughters of Brinacita. They belong to no gods but their own.
It was a long speech, but a good one. Come on, Lupa.
Better to die than to be a puppet. Death does not scare me.
If divinity takes up arms against the innocent, I will raise my sword against divinity.
I heard your request. But I prefer to handle this my way.
Victory isn't won in an instant. It takes patience and perseverance.
I believe in you, warrior.
I swear by the eternal sun, I will slay you!
Alright, prepare to die.
Fear and the longings of civilization, I was wrought. Born of the hearts of countless men and women, of babes and of the aged. With sharp blades and silver tongue, you struggle for power and revel in the slaughter of the arena. From past to present, nothing has changed.
What right do you have to judge the people of Renacita? Neotos are with dignity. Your very existence is an insult to her. Look at you cowering in this little incubator, desperate to evade your end. You will never understand what it takes to face the fear of death.
Come on.
Nothing. With me, together we howl. With me, to victory! Break darkness! Glory is upon us!
Unite with me.
Meaning triumph at the spear tip!
A human life is nothing more than a scream between life and death.
Oh shit.
Pray to me!
That's some attack. Ooh, now is the second.
Oh shit.
The fight is on! Please, Phil! With me! Into the spotlight! I'll end triumph at the spear tip! Greatness has no summit, and victory is never the final word.
She has the cutest smile.
Proud, pitiful, cry, love. Race to the finish. To face death with the crown of glory. By my will. Let this light burn in all its fury. To me, there is no greater joy in this world.
What a shame. Seems the play I've written isn't well received.
Mr. Onigiri!
What are you two plotting in Renacita?
Oh dear madam. Let's leave some mystery for the next chapter, shall we?
Oh, come on, that was a cool story. And Mr. Onigiri is back.
It's real. Both of you are safe.
It's thanks to her.
Thenodian's frequency is gone. Well done, Lupa.
You found the righteous one and safeguarded Septimont. It's like something out of a knight's tale. No, wait, gladiator's tale?
Abby's back.
Phew! Finally, I can stick my head out. Rover, are you okay?
I'm fine, Abby. What happened to you earlier?
Wait, we're already in Septimont? I was just talking to you, and then boom! It felt like something just covered me. First it messed with my frequency, then I just passed out. Wait, Carthea? And a girl I don't know?
You're lively. Your echo's more boisterous than a Tadar.
What happened while I was out?
I think it's time we compare notes. Let's fill in this story's blanks, shall we?
Okay. I have access to all the chapters of reality, or no, not even? Let's finish with fiction and then we will read the reality part. Blood ignited, body and soul aflame in the crucible of battle. Lupa's spear plunges into the monstrous half-human, half-sea creature, the fight unfolding on a stage conjured by illusion. Her mind is calm as the world fades away. Only the enemy, her weapon, and herself remain. The gladiator's Aegon, interrupted decades ago by the Thenodians' corruption, finally reaches its conclusion. At this moment, Lupa is no longer weighed down by questions of strength, weakness, sentinel, or Thenodian. Only a single pure thought remains: to be a gladiator is a thing of joy. But if it's the Lady of the Sea, after a relentless battle, Mia's reverberation is finally freed from its curse. So that's what. As you walk out of the central hub, a familiar connection pulsates within your tacit mark. You turn around and see Cotethia slowly gliding down from the sky and landing before you. After days of separation, you're finally reunited. He looks into your eyes, cracks a smile, and gestures in a different direction. Together, you walk to welcome the lone wolf returned from the flames. Lupa embraces both of you tightly, and you feel her tremble as worry gives way to delight at seeing both of you. Her words choke as tears fall. You pat her gently on the head to soothe her. This is a story co-written by you, Cotethia, and Lupa. Now it's coming to an end. Oh. That was good. Oh shit.
When I sensed the Threnodian's power here in Septimont, I immediately set out to find its source. It was quite sudden. I slipped through the smallest of cracks to enter this sonoro, which severed my contact with the outside world. I found Lupa in the city. She had lost her role. We traveled together for a time, and discovered the architects of the destruction, the Fraxidus playwright Cristoforo, and the Threnodian. Sadly, the playwright did eventually erase Lupa's existence. As for me, I descended into the submerged aqueducts where I found the Threnodian. It had inhabited Mia's remains and was hiding within an experimental unit. Unfortunately, I was unable to eliminate it entirely. It evaded me, slipping into hiding. I reasoned that you would sense the anomaly and come to Septimont, so I sought to offer you my aid. I battled the playwright, and in doing so, stripped him of his ability to control the script. Afterward, he, along with the other Fraxidus overseers, fled from me. With that, the sonoro began to collapse. It was then that we finally met. Is there anything else you wish to ask, Righteous One?
Yeah.
Lupa and I formed a few theories during our investigation, though they may not be entirely accurate. In this sonoro, where stories manifest as reality, roles define the identities of those within it. To lose your role is to lose both your name and memory. In truth, Mia has long since passed and does not truly exist here. It was Lupa, not Mia, who won the 3-day Aegon.
Okay.
I suspect the stories created by the playwright cannot stray too far from their original frameworks, a limitation of his resonance ability. This is why he erased Lupa's name, swapping her and Mia's identities. This allowed Mia to summon the Dark Tide upon Septimont. Is there anything else you wish to ask, Righteous One?
Yeah, tell me about the Thenodian and the Central Hub.
The central hub within the Veil of Glory was established by the Sentinel, and it appears no one had ever entered it before. Activating it requires 2 key conditions: victory, which grants the blessing bestowed by the Lioness of Glory through the Sentinel's mandate, and a trace of the Sentinel's frequency. The Threnodian set its sights on Mia for this very reason, which, in turn, brought its attention to Lupa. I struck a significant blow to the Threnodian within the story, but because I failed to prevent the corruption of the central hub earlier, it endured, drawing strength from that source.
Okay.
Throughout this journey, I often saw the figures of Lupa and Mia overlap.
It seems the Threnodian was attempting to replace Lupa, hoping to use her to corrupt the hub, siphon its power, and ultimately destroy Renacita. Is there anything else you wish to ask, Righteous One?
Okay, last question. Tell me about the other Factidus leaders. Because, yeah, I was super excited to see Scar again.
Apart from the playwright, I also encountered 2 other Fraxidus leaders. One, a woman with a bandaged eye.
the other a man with scars across his face.
Surely they must be Frolova and Scar. But how is Scar in Renacida?
Yeah, I thought he was imprisoned
Unfortunately, I
in
never had the
Jinzo.
chance to confront either of them directly. I saw them only briefly before they disappeared. I'm not sure why they've gathered here in Septimont. We must prepare for whatever plans they have. Is there anything else you wish to ask, Righteous One?
No, I'm gonna go chat with Lupa.
The Threnodian's frequency has vanished from Septimont, but I fear this is far from over. There is something else. Perhaps due to the dark tide in the Sonoro, I can feel my balance shifting. The Threnodian's pull is growing stronger. Now that I think of it, this could very well be part of the Fraxidus' plan.
You need to head to the Black Shores, Cardathia. They've been dealing with the Threnodian for years. You should go there and run some tests. They'll know how to handle what's coming.
The Black Shores? Is that where you're from? If it's a place you trust, then I will go.
I mean, we're from the Void. But if we have a flat in the Black Shore. But anyway. Chat.
The event that brought forth the dark tide, it must have been my death. After that, the details of the story blur. It repeated so many times. It's hard to remember everything. All I remember is wandering the desolate city streets in a Septimont corrupted by the dark tide, unable to escape, until I met Cartathea. She saved me. But in that story, we couldn't fully resolve the source of the disaster. Then in another story, I encountered you, my fellow warrior. After we parted, I awoke in yet another story, in the Vale of Glory, where I finally saw the Threnodian's true form in the submerged aqueducts. It had taken control of Mia's corpse, and was using the Fraxidus' Sonoro to grow its power. After defeating it, the Sonoro began to collapse. I passed through those crumbling pages to find you. Is there anything else you want to know? I'll hold nothing back.
Tell me about your death.
My death? Well, I'll start from the very beginning. My journey to win the championship.
I hope it's not boring to anyone, but if I want to wrap this up, I need to have all the information because I won't be able to go back to it. That's the problem with this type of games. You cannot rewind or redo quests.
I had failed to expose the family's match fixing. After being deceived by Domina Julia and winning the title on my own, my memories became a blur. I was probably under some form of control. The last thing I clearly remember was standing in the central hub in the Vale of Glory, pressing my spear into something that resembled a control panel. Then the dark tide began to surge. In the end, all of Septimont was swallowed by it. I'm not sure when all this started, or where the line between the reality I knew and the Sonoro world created by the Fraxidus began to blur. But in those 3 days of the story where Cartathea didn't rescue me, I would always die on the first day, helplessly watching as my home slowly crumbled to dust. Is there anything else you want to know? I'll hold nothing back.
Tell me about your journey with Cartathea.
Cartathea saved me. The me who had lost her role and her memories. We wandered the abandoned city of Septimont and pieced together that the Fraxidus and the Threnodian were the true architects of the chaos. Yet in the end, my role was claimed by the Threnodian, and my body disappeared before Cartathea's eyes. But before I was lost to oblivion, Cartathea gave me a sliver of her frequency. I think it was that frequency that unknowingly led to our paths crossing in the story. Is there anything else you want to know? I'll hold nothing back.
Tell me about Mia and the Threnodian. That's the last question.
Many years ago, Mia cast herself into the sea, to escape the Threnodians' control. But Domina Julia recovered her broken body from the depths and handed it over to the Fraxidus. For years, they subjected her remains to twisted experiments until the Threnodian's essence, still lingering within her, finally awakened. The Threnodian took control of Mia's corpse, turning it into a half-human, half-sea creature monstrosity. It formed an alliance with the Fraxidus. The last trace of Mia's reverberation was forced to be part of it, tortured and ravaged.
Yeah, it's gross. It really is just like a mix of necromancy and a fruit that serves to make wine. I guess I don't want to be banned, so.
Is there anything else you want to know? I'll hold nothing back. Oh, the script and the copper mirror you gave me. I'll return them to you now. It was a long story, but the ending turned out well. Though, thinking of Mia still upsets me. Her reverberations, trapped in that monstrous body. I can't imagine her suffering over the last 20 years.
When you defeated the Threnodian, you also set her free.
Yes. It was an honor to have that final battle with her. Thanks to you and Cartathea, I was able to rewrite the tragic ending of this story. Thank you, my fellow warrior, for believing in me.
There's one more thing. We should return to the central hub in Septimont. I found something tied to you there.
The central hub. Good timing. There's something I need to handle in the Veil of Glory, too.
Good. Let's set off together.
Okay. It was really dumb. About to know. Good.
When Lupa vanished, I destroyed the experimental unit, pursued the Threnodian, and defeated the Lioness of Glory it controlled. Then, I came across this place. You remember how the Threnodian took on a part of the Sentinel's knowledge and permissions, yes? For the Sentinel, the information stolen was their very memories. For this reason, even the Sentinel forgot that before merging with the Threnodian, they transferred some of their knowledge to the central hub in Septimont.
The knowledge they would later forget.
It was a secret, one the Threnodian should never learn. The Sentinel moved it there for safekeeping. Within it, I found a special frequency. A part of it felt like yours. I believe it's what the Sentinel left for you, so I took it.
Huh?
You feel the freight frequency.
It seems like a clue. The true secret they left for you is not here, but in that direction.
So, you feel the faint frequency of sharp, cold wind. It fades quickly as it touches your hand, but not before it points toward a distant destination in Septimont. I mean, at least we're still in the right region, so it's not all bad.
You see, before I came to meet you, I passed by the city of Septimont. The arena I destroyed has been restored, but in the people's hearts, it's still the Righteous One and Lupa who claimed victory. The Fraxidus' power to reshape reality is deeper than we realized.
I'm afraid this is just the beginning.
Oh, this is gonna get annoying.
I once believed the Threnodians sought to use the Fraxness to regain power, but its true goal is the central hub. I believe it's due to this secret the Sentinel has hidden.
That direction. It leads to the hunting grounds. The blight cloud still lingers there. When the high tide comes, Septimontians hunt and cull the spawning Tacit Discords.
The dark tide connects everything. I cannot pinpoint where the Sentinel's message lies. I'm afraid you must go there yourself. But the worst of the storm has passed. Let's take a moment to rest.
Agreed.
Lupa, will you be our tour guide? Show us the sights and glories of Septimont? I'd love to hear more about what you mentioned earlier. The wind blowing through golden flags and the sound of wind chimes.
Of course, it would be my honor. But before we go, there's something I need to do first.
Travel through a silver veil above the drift.
What's that?
It's Mia's sword. I went through a lot to bring it back. The monster is gone now. Like so many Septimontian heroes whose bodies were never recovered, I wanted to return her weapon. This is where she gave her life. I can't say if she loved or hated Septimont more. But she once spoke of the bloodleaf viburnum. It's a tribute often given to gladiators by their supporters. So, I think she would have wanted to rest here. It's beautiful. Our city. The city of glory. The people here love to drink, laugh, carve statues, and hunt. It burns like fire, drenched in both victory and defeat. It holds all our disappointments and all our hopes.
That was an intense story. But at least justice for Mia has been done. Been given. Afterglow. The sword that had accompanied Mia in countless battles pierces her chest. The pain and blood loss overwhelm her. Her grip on the sword falters, and she stumbles to the edge of the cliff in the Vale of Glory. She glances back at Septimont, the place that had given her both joy and suffering. It had won her heart and broken it in equal measure. The ancient city stood ablaze beneath the fiery sunset, its reflection in Mia's eyes as vivid as when she first crossed the sea with her family and set foot on this land. How beautiful. That was her last thought as she fell into done. The world is collapsing. Ages curl as fiction slips away from reality. Rolova stands silently, still waters, bending to retrieve an unfamiliar object from. It is a gem. Originally from Raguna, this gem passed through many hands before reaching Septimont. Brought here by a young girl. To avoid drawing attention to the fate the jewelry symbolized, she had the gem removed, melting down the gold to forge it into a gladiator's helmet. The gem's natural cerulean has been tainted a deep purple and bears the mark of light. Deep within the crystal's depth, the silhouettes of fish. Is there any more story quests or? Yes, seems like I'm done. Well, it was bang on 2 hours. We're Gucci. Guess I'm gonna start some story quests next. But for today, go to our hotel room. After all, we have it forever, right? An eternal suite. I want to see if we can get access to the lobby. Ooh. Wasn't expecting that.
You've come, warrior.
Of course.
Are you drinking?
Just wheat juice.
That's called beer.
Sure. Wheat juice.
Ah, today you... Oh, you smell nice. Like dried wheat.
Okay. Unusual way to describe someone, or do you really have a wolf's sense of smell? Let's go with the first one.
Well, that's just what I think. When I was little, I used to roll in the wheat fields. It's good to have my fellow warrior by my side.
Lupa, you've had enough wheat juice. Sit. Take a break for a moment.
Even though it's over, there's still a heaviness. A drink helps.
I mean, it was a lot.
Sent word to the F4's palace about Domina Julia. But finding the silvers that fled will take time. Four years ago, Augusta won the title of champion. Since becoming F4, much of the corruption tied to the arena has been cleared. If Mia had lived, perhaps things would have been different. Sometimes I wonder, what would my life have been like if my parents hadn't handed me over to the Silvers when we first came to Septimont? Huh. Just like one of those stories with the different endings.
Have you ever thought about living a different life, Lupa?
No need. I'm content with what I have. For everything gained, something is lost. But through it all, I met you. That's enough. Life is
Here
a
comes the
thriller.
flirting.
Victory and defeat are a part of that. No one wins forever. The more victories, the higher the expectation, and the heavier the weight of defeat. Do you fear that one day you might face defeat?
Nah, we're the hero. Yes and no. Let's just say yes. She needs comfort.
You seem to live to meet others' expectations. This is what you're used to, I'd say. Even if one day you meet defeat, remember this. Those you've helped will never let you face it alone. I may not have your strength, but should you call, I will meet you on the battlefield, no matter the distance.
Okay, this is
Swear
kind of
it.
cute.
By the eternal sun, my fellow warrior.
That was intense, as everything else in that story. Yeah. I thought she wouldn't be flirty, but... But in any case, I'm done with the story, so I will take my leave for now. Back to the chat room real quick. Okay. Well, thank you for hanging out with me this past 2 days while I was catching up on Wuthering Waves story quests. It was fun. I do think that it's definitely the best story chapter we've had in this game up until this point. It's not that I hated the first parts, but it was nowhere near as good as this one was, in my opinion. So I will take a break. I will be back in an hour to stream Clair Obscure Expedition 33, and from tomorrow morning I will be streaming Honkai Star Rail because I am super late on the story and I want to keep doing these gacha story catch-ups. So yeah, this is what I'll be doing tomorrow morning, probably starting from 10:30 Paris time, so CET if I can. If I cannot, it will be 11 CET as well. But in any case, I'll take my leave now, and I'll see you guys next time. If you want to hang out and lurk, it's good. Thank you again. Bye.